we go. We're going. G'day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Snake Catchers podcast. I'm Brett, and I'm here, of course, with Dan, as always. We've had another change of scenery.
Change it again.
We're sitting in your backyard. It's a pretty nice night, so we thought, why not switch it up a bit? It's probably a bit better than being in a stuffy snake room at the moment.
Yeah.
So bit of fresh air. This will be the first episode of 2026. So yeah, first one for the new year. So we hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable Christmas and New Year. So this first one will be a topic episode. So I think the last one we did was a catch up before New Year. So yeah, this one will be a topic episode today, and then the one after this will do another catch up for sort of everything between Christmas and sort of New Year.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything that happened there. So this one's going to lead on from the last episode we did with all the statistics and stuff like that about, the most dangerous animals in Australia, cows, horses, dogs, all that sort of stuff.
Big scary stuff.
All the big scary stuff. So this one's going to be a bit more focus on specific snakebite statistics within Australia, and then we're going to compare that to global snakebite statistics as well. So got a heap of stuff to go through. When I was researching for this, there's a lot of just sort of estimates, I suppose, so rough numbers, because a lot of the numbers aren't always published. Or
I was going to say, like in like third world countries and stuff, they probably don't.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Like imagine the amount that would, like, in the villages and stuff, like in Africa and India and stuff, that would get.
It'd be impossible to track it all. Even in Australia, like a lot of the sort of suspected bites aren't actually bites and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's there is a lot of estimates. We do have sort of numbers of confirmed fatalities over the last sort of 20 years as well, but a lot of it is just sort of estimates and rough numbers. But as we go through, we'll sort of notice that those numbers don't typically change too much.
It's still pretty, over the lifetime of all the records and stuff.
Yeah. So we've got records from 2000 pretty well up to 2025. Obviously, we've only just started 2026.
Did you get it up to 2025, did you?
Yeah, so I got it up to 2025.
Yeah, right. Because I think one of them I looked at was only like...
Where are we? There's only one suspected.
Last year. So last year was only one.
Only one last year, snakebite fatality in Australia that I could find that was on record. Again, there may have been some other random case that wasn't recorded, but this was the one recorded case that I did find, and it was sort of well publicised within the news and stuff like that. But we'll talk about that later. From the year sort of 2000 to last year, the numbers of sort of suspected bites haven't really changed. It's always sort of around that 3,000 suspected bites a year.
It's interesting how that sort of doesn't change too much, even though the population's growing.
Yeah, absolutely. You would just expect it to start creeping up as the population does. Because
we're pushing out more like into their habitat, into snake habitat, you'd think it would.
You'd think it would.
It'd be good if it doesn't, but like for the snakes, it'd be good if it doesn't.
It'd be fantastic if it doesn't.
It just kind of makes sense that it would.
It'll be interesting over the next sort of 10 years or so to see what the numbers are. But yeah, over the last 25 years, it's always sort of been around that 3,000 suspected bites a year in Australia. Now, they're suspected bites. They're not all confirmed or anything like that. So, someone could be, gardening. They could prick themselves on a rose bush or something like that, think they've been bitten by a snake. Yeah. So that's stuff like that as well in those suspected bites.
Yeah.
So it isn't all
so it kind of
confirmed snake bites.
Can throw it out a little bit.
Absolutely it can. So again, hospitalizations from suspected snake bites. So the numbers do go down again, but they have sort of stayed pretty similar over the last 25 years. And that's between 400 and 500 hospitalizations a year from suspected snake bites.
Yeah.
You'll notice the theme here with all these numbers. They will keep going down and get lower and lower as they do go through. Now, out of those hospitalizations, the people that have actually been bitten and require antivenom goes down again. So that's only between 200 and 300 a year. So if you're bitten by a snake in Australia and you go to hospital, you don't always need to get antivenom.
No.
Because there are potential risks with getting the antivenom as well.
I think you've said that before, where they pretty much...
I did, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, if you can get through it without it,
then that's the best option.
The option.
Yeah.
I guess the other thing would be, like, you obviously get damaged nerve endings and whatever it is, like, was it presynaptic and postsynaptic, sort of all that, getting all that dirty stuff, all that. So the antivenom can help reverse. It's one of the two, either presynaptic or postsynaptic. The antivenom actually helps with one, but not the other. But yeah, that's probably the only other reason they would give, if that sort of helps that.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally speaking, if you get like a mild envenomation, they'll probably just see if you can write it out.
See if you can write it out.
Yeah. And depending on the species as well.
Of course, like, the species, severity of the bite, all this sort of stuff, are all factors that sort of come into play with all this sort of stuff. But antivenom is an animal byproduct as well. Yep. It's made from horses.
It's a foreign body.
It's a foreign body. People do have reactions to the antivenom as well, sometimes worse than the initial snake bite is.
They call it serum sickness, or is that something else?
I think that's something else. Typically allergic reactions.
That's allergic reaction
to it.
Yeah.
But I've heard of cases where people have been bitten by a snake, need the antivenom, had a horrible reaction to the antivenom, so they need to get pumped with adrenaline as well to counteract the antivenom.
Yeah.
And then when that goes down, give more antivenom to help with the snake bite, and then more adrenaline to sort of even it all out.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez, you'd feel rude after that.
You'd feel pretty rough, wouldn't you? But yeah, like 200 to 300 a year for people that actually need antivenom. Antivenom, it's a fantastic product. Like, in Australia, it's the best anywhere in the world, but it's also not a miracle worker.
No.
And again, people do have reactions to the antivenom that, can be worse than the initial snake bite.
Yeah.
So, like, if you do get bitten by a snake and you end up going to hospital, they'll do God knows how many tests to see if you've been bitten, what's potentially bitten you, have you been envenomated, all this sort of stuff, and then we'll, monitor you from there to see if you can get through it without antivenom.
And then I'm pretty sure they sort of slowly, if you hopefully you bandaged up, I think they should slowly
release,
start. And obviously they'd probably be able to obviously test before they even do that, whether you have been envenomated or not.
Yeah.
And then, they'll just slowly take it off and like bit by bit. So that's once again why it's so important to be at hospital for that. Because you're hooked up to everything, and you just slowly, if there is venom in your system, it's going to get into your blood system eventually from the lymphatic. So if they slowly release it, it's obviously easier on the patient as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Rather than just, taking the bandage off in one hit and seeing what happens.
I've heard
stories of that as well. Yeah.
I think I've heard one story with it. I won't say who it was, but might be a future guest that might be able to talk about it. He has a taipan bite, and they were just in hospital, and lucky this other dude was standing next to him. The nurse came in, and not the doctor, and started taking the bloody bandage off.
Yeah.
Just like without the doctor and that potentially that would have nearly killed him. Well, could have, or definitely killed it, especially being a coastal taipan.
With a taipan, they're not forgiving, are they?
So. Yeah, but generally speaking, the hospital care in Australia is really good. You just depends where you go, I guess. Like, because some places just would never see them, and then all of a sudden they get one in, and
and then don't know what to do.
I know my sister's a nurse, and she said they do bugger all like around it. During her study and stuff, they didn't really. I think they must have covered it, but not. She said this doesn't really happen enough.
Extensively.
They don't actually go into it that much. So you're really relying on the doctor to know what they're doing, like, because obviously the nurses and that would probably only really know the first aid. But
So on that, 200 to 300 people that go to hospital, need antivenom every year. And then out of that, we have 1 to 2, on average, deaths a year in Australia from snake bite.
So many.
Some years we don't have any. Some years you might have a couple more. I think
that's why it's called an average, Brett.
That's why it's called an average. The worst year in the last 25 years was 2018, and there were 6 snakebite fatalities in 2018. Still less than dog attacks that year. But yeah, 6 that year, and that's the worst in the last 25 years. Only 6 people. So it's not a lot of people still.
I mean, you shouldn't say only, Brett. A death is a death. But in statistics,
yes.
We're not talking about the person.
No, we're just looking at the statistics. I don't mean any disrespect. All right, moving on. So yeah, 1 to 2 on average a year over that sort of last 25 year period.
Which is pretty bloody good, really.
Which, considering, we've got the most venomous snakes in the world, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of people.
No.
But again, when it does happen, it just gets blown so far out of proportion.
By our friends the media, we continue to mention.
By the media, yeah.
Like, I think there was a lady got bit, I think has been a couple bites this week, the last week. That snake from Sunshine Coast.
Yes, I did see that.
I couldn't believe that, because she was not even working and she stepped on one in her own yard and she was a snake catcher.
Yeah, so that happened up in Queensland. One of the young girls working for Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers wasn't catching a snake at the time. She was just walking in her backyard. Didn't have any shoes on, but, we're Australian. We don't wear shoes
all the time.
Places.
Yeah.
When we're catching snakes, we do. Some people don't. But yeah, she was just walking in her backyard and stood on a brown snake accidentally, and it gave a defensive bite. And yeah, ended up having to go to hospital and did need antivenom.
Yeah, I think
that.
I actually saw her. She was talking on the TV the other day, and I saw it. She actually said, like, which I thought was awesome. She said her first thought was, I hope the snake's all right. Because she stepped on it. She's like, she just wanted to make sure the snake was all right.
The
like,
mind,
awesome.
Mind of a snake catcher.
Yeah, a good snake catcher.
A good snake catcher. But yeah, like, accidents like that can happen quite often. I've seen videos as well, and you've seen videos of people stepping on snakes and the snake's not doing anything at all.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a complete accident in a lot of those situations.
Yeah.
And in the post she listed the stuff as well. I wasn't wearing shoes, walking in the long grass, all this sort of stuff. It's like, but again, like, accidents can happen.
Oh, it's just it's so unlucky, and it's just even more. Yeah. It's just even more uncanny that she was a snake catcher. Which I thought was quite.
But just a very sort of unlucky situation, I suppose.
Yeah.
That one. So out of all these bites and stuff that are happening, I say all these, it's not that many. The most common species that we see sort of biting people, is the eastern brown snake.
Yeah.
That's not really a shock.
No.
I think it's like 68% of suspected bites are from brown snakes.
They call it a common brown for
a reason. The eastern brown snake's distribution is, funnily enough, where we decided to build all of our major cities in Australia. So from Adelaide right along the sort of southern east coast, and then right up the east coast of Australia. So literally where all of our major cities are, and where 90% of the population
is where they are.
Is as well.
Whereas, like, when you put that against, like, the inland taipan, which is the most venomous, there's no one out there, and no one's ever died.
No one's died of an inland taipan bite anywhere.
And it just goes to show, like, the difference. Like, number one's out in the middle number, but number two, the eastern browns, where everyone is. So it's sort of, unfortunately, it's part and parcel of it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as well, like the difference between the most venomous snakes in the world and the most dangerous snakes in the world.
That needs
because
to be covered.
The most venomous snakes in the world aren't necessarily the most dangerous snakes in the world. Like, we would consider the eastern brown snake the most dangerous snake in Australia.
Yeah.
Because it's the one that people come into contact with the most, because, again, its distribution is through most of our major cities.
And it causes the most bites.
And it causes the most bites. In terms of sort of global statistics, it's far from the most dangerous
Be nowhere near it.
snake in the world.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the top. But we will get into that in a sec as well. So yeah, 1 to 2 average deaths a year in Australia is not that many. So most of these sort of bites occur. I mean, again, there's a lot of different reasons that someone might be bitten by a snake. Yeah. I'd say the most common is people trying to interact with the snake, trying to, either catch it themselves, move it on, harm it, or kill it. And that's when I'd say most bites.
I think it is.
Most bites occur.
I don't know if you found that stat at all, but there is a stat somewhere that I don't know. So I read it somewhere. It was like 70 or 80% of bites
it's
where
quite high.
People are envenomated are people interacting
with them. It is quite high. Yeah. Like we said in other episodes as well, like accidents do happen.
Yeah.
And, you could just be walking through your garden and you get bitten by a snake you might stand on. You could be gardening and get bitten by one that's just there. They're all considered accidents.
Yeah.
Again, whereas, actively trying to
engage with it,
move it yourself, harm it or kill it in any way, you're really sort of asking for trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Then, yeah. Whereas, you don't get bitten by the snake you're leaving alone.
Yeah, well, I think I've said that before too, is like they're Eastern Browns are potentially they're harmless if you leave them alone.
Harmless if you leave them alone. Yeah.
It's just, yeah,
it's just one of those things. So I've got a few specific incidents of snake bites over the last sort of 20 years or so, but in majority of these fatal cases, the lack of first aid is one of the major factors that contribute to, unfortunately, people dying from snake bite, is the lack of first aid. We have spoken about it briefly before, and we will sort of do a more in-depth episode on it. But snake bite first aid is very simple.
Yeah, and effective.
Very simple, very effective as well. So, yeah, in a lot of these cases, it is just that lack of first aid. Someone potentially thinking, I'll just go. I won't bother wrapping up, and I'll just go to hospital.
Yeah,
and I'll be fine. And unfortunately, they're not fine. So there was the case. It was in where are we? I think it was 20. Who was it? I'm just trying to find which one it was. It was the one, a bloke in Queensland. It's the childcare centre that tried to remove a eastern brown snake from the childcare centre himself. Yeah. He was bitten multiple times on the hand while trying to remove the snake.
Yeah.
Didn't do first aid or anything like that. Decided to drive home before potentially going to the hospital. And unfortunately collapsed when he got home, and that was it. That was pretty well it, unfortunately. So, yeah, first aid is one of the main factors. Obviously, people engaging with these snakes when they don't know what they're doing or don't know what the snake potentially is either is another one. There was that one last year. Now, this bloke got very lucky that again, it was in Queensland. There was a young lad that I think it was his sister's place, and she had a snake in her pantry or something like that, and he thought it was a common tree snake, a little common tree snake, and it was a juvenile eastern brown snake, and someone was filming him, and he was holding this snake, and you could see it in the video biting him multiple times. He put that video then on Facebook.
Asking for an ID.
And everyone obviously said, that's a brown snake, you need to go to hospital, which he then did. He wrapped up and ended up going to hospital, but I think he went into cardiac arrest or something like that on the way to hospital. Yeah. And he was in all sorts of strife. But luckily he survived that encounter. Yeah. So, like taking away from that, basically, if you don't know what something is,
just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Again, you're not going to get bitten by the snake that you're not interacting with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and we obviously use our social media and we post stuff, catching snakes and all this sort of stuff, and we do make it look easy.
Yeah,
I suppose. We obviously don't want people to copy it or do it because it's not as easy as it looks. As it looks. And there's been many situations where people have been bitten and unfortunately died from trying to
do it
themselves. It's just.
I think that's like one thing like we sort of push out there a bit too is just how many things we've talked about it before. How many things we look at when we're catching and like handling
have
a
to
snake.
Take into consideration.
There's so many like behavioural things and the way the snake's acting. You can tell the snake how agitated the snake is at the time, all that sort of stuff. Where like the normal person just thinking, "Oh, I can do that," and then obviously how they happen, how bites happen.
Yeah.
And there's also like, I mean that chick up in Queensland obviously stepped on it and got envenomated, but there's a lot of times, especially with brown snakes, when it is an accidental interaction and they let off a dry bite because they just go, "Oh shit," and just freak
and just
out
react
and just bite and take off. And it's a lot of the time it potentially is a dry bite just because of that sort of situation. But then you go to that other, like that guy in the pantry where he was holding it and the snake literally thought it was going to die. So it's envenomating.
Yeah. That goes back to what we were saying last episode or the episode before about how a bite isn't a great defense. Like that juvenile that bloke was holding, they was biting him left, right and centre. But again, that venom's not going to react quick enough for that snake to potentially get away.
Yeah, exactly.
Then.
Yeah.
So it's not a great defense mechanism. While yes, they do use a bite as defense, it's sort of more of a, hey, I'm here, leave me alone. I just want to go this way and be on my way, basically. So so the eastern brown snake is the sort of top contributor to bites in Australia, like 68% or something like that.
Yeah.
But out of all those brown snake bites, we were just talking about dry bites, only 13% of eastern brown snake bites are envenomations.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's not a high number.
No.
And that just shows that, again, they just want to, hey, I'm here. Can you just leave me alone? I'm just going to go off this way. Yeah. And
how much of like
I'll be on my way.
Yeah, how much like molesting of it before they'd actually envenomate a lot of the time as well. Sort of, which that shows as well.
Yeah,
Obviously, like the accident sort of shows the accidental bites, where they've been stepped on or someone's had an accident with it. Ends up being a dry bite. But
And again, we've seen videos of people actually stepping on them and then the snake still not doing anything.
Yeah.
And we see it out. We see it out in the field, and we see it when we train people as well. It does take a lot to get a bite out of one.
Yeah.
Snakes are like people. They all have their different temperaments and personalities and stuff like that. Some of them, can have a go straight away.
Yeah.
I'd say majority, it does take a little bit more.
And it also, it comes down
prodding, I suppose.
Yeah, and it comes down to how you handle it too. Like you obviously get, someone who's carrying on like a pork chop, catching it. It's obviously a higher risk of it carrying on, like not letting the first third leaving the first third on the ground. As soon as you take them off the ground, they
try and come back
generally
up.
Try and carry on a bit. It's all that sort of stuff as well.
And you see that in our sort of videos as well. When we handle, we try and be as calm and composed as possible. And obviously we know we got to read the situation and stuff like that. But generally the calmer we are, the calmer the snake is. Again, not always. You'll have the odd individual that just wants to go off his chops.
Wild, yeah.
But it's also, like it with anything.
Yeah, and it's like you'd never know what that snake's been through, like the rest of the day. Like early in the day, it might have had, you know, been swooped by bloody magpies or
nearly been hit by a car or something like that.
Someone else has had a go at it. Dogs had a go at it. So that by the time you get to it, it's wide and just ready to go.
Yeah. You get other jobs where you go, literally it's basking there, you pick it up with a hook and just put it in the bag.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything. They do have their own individual personalities, and you know, people find that hard to believe. But when you work with this many, you do see that.
And I guess like that's where untrained people would probably come unstuck, because I've noticed like over my time doing it is probably 7, 8 out of 10 snakes really don't do too much. Like they little bit, but they don't really go off like a firecracker.
That 1 out of 10.
And then like, so someone untrained could maybe get away with a couple, but then they're not trained for that situation if it does go
off its chops.
Yeah, which is when trouble happens.
Because like again, we've both had it. We've tailed a brown snake. You still do everything right. Keep the first third on the ground. He'll still freak out, fling up above your head, and you know, come back down close to your hand or something like that. And then the next one might just sit there and go in the bag, sort of thing. And
it's how you control those situations too when that happens. So, I mean, I'd be the first to admit when I first started, you have the first one or two where it sort of they come up and you like want to drop it, sort of thing, and like, you know, you kind of freak out a lot. But is that like at the start? Then obviously once you get more experience, it changes a lot, and then you learn how to sort of ride it out,
ride those situations out,
and not, you know, just stay calm. And the more you stay calm, the more the snake's going to stay calm. And a lot of the time it is sort of just that one, they do just carry on once and then they're like, oh, sort of it. But then you obviously, like we said, they're like people. Sometimes they'll just keep carrying on. Like some people do.
It's amazing as well that when we do have them and we show them the bag, I'd say 90% of the time they'll go straight into the bag.
I love doing that. Just it's I think that was I saw that with Tony up on the Gold Coast there. I saw him sort of doing it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. And it like just less stress to the animal as well.
Yeah.
So you just put the bag there and you're not shoving them in a bag. As much as like obviously small ones, I'll just like little ones. But if you got the chance, you can sort of have a bit more time with them and just sort of let them go. And I'll quite often almost just sort of let them down, and they'll just sort of see the bag and almost
and just go in the bag themselves. Obviously, it's very situational. And
it is. Yeah.
We read these situations like, if there's a 2-foot snake on a 30-degree day,
bang straight in.
You get it straight in the bag. If it's 21 degrees, bit overcast, you got a 3 to 4 foot brown snake, you might just let him go in the bag himself. Yeah. It's so situational like that, and you've just got to take every situation as it comes, I suppose. But you learn pretty quick the ones to just get in the bag and bagged up.
Like I said, like the more time you do it, you obviously, like anything, you learn different situations, and you sort of almost make a plan. Try to make a plan in your head, but quite often it doesn't.
No. Whenever you do that, it just completely the opposite of what you want. But that goes back to the training as well, which is why, you with Will have just taken that little bit extra time, just to show him all these sort of factors that come into play. And which again is why we think it should be more than 10 call-outs. Yeah, well now Will's done more than 10 now. But that's
he's gone past that, and he'll continue to go past that until obviously his permit comes through. But yeah, it's obviously does absolutely no harm. It just gives them more of an advantage for when they first go out by themselves, because then they'll still have that. Even if you feel confident, there's still that first time by yourself. Yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, which like the nerves are going to probably almost will try and get the better of you, just because it is that first time. Like anything, it's almost similar to the first time catching, like even on doing your logbook, the first snake you tail, like sort of thing. It's just again, you go through it again when you're by yourself, and then you sort of you have to overcome that hurdle, and then it's you
get your feel for it. It
gets better.
Yeah. Because again, like we obviously teach people how we handle and the best things that we think they should do, but you do find your own rhythm as well. I mean, again, as long as if we teach someone, we're not going to teach them how to bloody shake it all over the place or something like that.
Shaky.
And if someone did do that after we'd taught them, they'd bloody pull them up on it.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not how we go about it.
Yeah. I think as long as you just have the solid background, and then like we've talked about it before, where you have the solid background, and everyone's going to do everything a little bit different in their own way. But as long as they've got that solid grounding with handling and that sort of stuff, it just gives them room from there to do, change little things that they might do, which overall probably doesn't look much different, but it's just little things they might like doing or something.
Yeah,
like
the
that.
little things that might make them feel a bit more comfortable when they're catching, which we might do something a little bit different when we're doing it. Yeah. Because that's just what makes us feel comfortable. I think we've said it before, but I'd like to think we handle pretty similarly.
Yeah.
You can sort of see that in the videos as well that we post. It sort of makes sense because I did my training with you.
Yeah.
But again,
we both did the same handling course and everything.
Both did the same handling course.
Which had very similar techniques that we learned and all that sort of stuff as well. So.
Yeah. And again, we both have obviously very similar values as well when it comes to handling these animals. Yeah. Which obviously always helps as well. So, like the way you handle these animals goes a long way to their behaviour,
how they react back to you,
and how they react. Yeah. So, bit of a quick sort of overview about Australian snakebite statistics and breakdowns, and we've got a few percentages here as well. So, again, there's an estimated 3,000 bites a year in Australia. So, when you put that against our population, which is about 26 million, you're 0.0115% chance of being bitten by a snake in your lifetime. So odds per year, that's 1 in about 9,000.
It's pretty good odds.
It's not bad. That's odds per year. Now, again, in venomations, 300 to 400 a year. So the percentage of that against our population is 0.0012 to 0.0015%. Just extremely low. And again, odds per year is 1 in about 85,000. Deaths from snake bites per year, 0.000004%. And that's again 1 in 13 to 26 million chance of being killed by a snake in Australia. I'll take those odds.
Yeah.
And we're obviously the ones that are more likely and at risk of it because we deal with these animals every day. But again, like the statistics speak for themselves, don't they?
I heard a saying a while back, words talk, numbers scream.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
Very accurate. But people don't like listening to numbers, unfortunately.
No, yeah.
But
it's right there.
It's right there.
You can't argue with it.
So again, the risk from dying in Australia every year, your odds are 1 in 13 to 26 million.
Just to recap.
Extremely low numbers. And you'll see just how low these numbers are when we sort of get onto global snakebite statistics.
Yeah.
Because Australia isn't even a contender.
No.
Compared to some of these other countries.
Which is wild when we've got so many in the top 10
again,
that everyone goes on about.
Yeah, considering we've got the most venomous snakes in the world, they're nowhere near the most dangerous snakes in the world. Nowhere near. And I've got a list of the top 20 countries here when it comes to estimated snake bites a year and then deaths from snake bites a year. So do you think Australia's in that top 20?
No,
it's definitely not. No. And I'll tell you how far down the list it is.
I mean, I could see the top 10 there of the countries, and without
it makes so much sense.
And if if that list wasn't there, I could probably just about name a lot of them that I would have put in the top 10. Yeah. Especially number 1.
Number 1 is the standout. The number 1 country in the world when it comes to snake bites and snake bite fatality is India. It's a country with probably the biggest population in the world. Yeah. Is it the biggest population in the world now?
It's between them and China.
Yeah. So biggest population, in the world. It's a third world country.
Yeah.
They don't have access to anti-venom, even hospitals a lot of the time, like we do. We're so lucky in Australia.
People don't realise
it. They just go on about how we've got all these animals that are trying to kill you.
Yeah.
But I would much rather cop a bite here than anywhere else in the world.
100%.
Anywhere else in the world. So estimated bites a year in India is between 2 to 3 million.
That's wild, isn't it?
That's insane. 2 to 3 million people a year in India are estimated to be bitten by a venomous snake. Now, obviously, these are just estimates. Like we said before, it's just not accurate numbers for a lot of these places, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because, again, random little villages and stuff like that just aren't going to...
But even then, like, it's a million leeway in there. Like, 2 to 3, there's still like a million, like, give or take. It's still a lot.
And again, considering the population of India, that's still pretty low.
Yeah, true.
They've got however many billion people.
Yeah.
That's still pretty low.
Yeah, it is, really.
When you think about it like that. Average deaths from snakebite a year in India, again, average is between 45 and 60,000.
Which sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot, but again, when you compare that to population, it's still pretty low.
Yeah.
It's still pretty low. Now, where are we? The fella that is contributing to the most snake bites in India and would be considered the most dangerous snake in the world, because a dangerous snake is a snake that kills the most people. It's nowhere near the most venomous snake in the world. Is the Russell's viper.
I would have got that wrong because I thought it was.
Really?
I thought it was a saw scale viper. Actually,
he's definitely on the list.
Oh, yeah, I actually thought that was number one.
So the Russell's viper is India, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan. So that sort of region of Asia, and they're extremely common in agricultural areas, which out of major cities, a lot of India is.
Yeah.
In these small villages. And again, a third world country, people are just getting around not wearing any shoes or anything like that and, working in these places and they get bitten, unfortunately. And again, like the number of Russell's viper deaths is around 25,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like, so the Russell's viper would be considered the most dangerous snake in the world.
Yeah.
Again, while it's not anywhere near the most venomous snake in the world,
it kills the most people.
It kills the most people. So it would be the number one most dangerous snake.
Yeah.
Most dangerous snake in the world.
And you look at India, obviously, and a lot of these countries that are in this list, a lot of them wouldn't wear shoes. They sleep on the floor. Obviously, a lot of poverty, so a lot of them have to work out in fields and all that sort of stuff. They're just in it all the time.
Yeah. It's unavoidable. Whereas in Australia, it's very avoidable.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. So the next country on the list is Bangladesh, which has about 500,000 estimated bites a year, and between
it's a fair drop. I suppose Bangladesh is a smaller country.
It's a smaller country.
Still drops a fair bit though.
It drops a ridiculous amount. Yeah. 6,000 to 8,000. Estimated deaths a year in Bangladesh. And the further we go down the list, obviously the less and less their numbers are. Nigeria, so just under 500,000 estimated bites, between 5,000 and 10,000 deaths a year. Pakistan coming in at number 4 with about 300,000 estimated bites, between 8,000 and 9,000 deaths a year, so slightly up on the sort of fatalities from the number 3 spot, but less bites.
Yeah.
But again, that's just got to do with species as well. Then you've got Sri Lanka. Again, this would be the saw scale viper coming out as well. About 80 to 100,000 suspected bites.
So that's pretty wild because Sri Lanka's a small island.
It's a small country.
But then you look at the deaths per year, 400 to 500 out of 80 to 100,000. That's
a fair
compared to the other ones in that list that we've just talked about.
Yeah, that's a fair difference.
It's a fair drop, to actual deaths from bites.
Yeah. So that would suggest that in Sri Lanka that they must have some sort of better medical
Does suggest that, doesn't it?
facility to sort of accommodate snake bite.
Yeah.
That's what it would suggest. Again, like when doing research for this, there's sort of limited information on a lot of these statistics for all these sort of other countries. But again, number 6, Myanmar, about 150,000 estimated bites, 5,000 to 6,000 deaths a year. And again, the Russell's viper coming in at the sort of major contributor for that. 7 is Nepal. Then we've got Ethiopia at 8, and they've sort of got about the same, about 100,000 suspected bites a year, and then about 1,000 to 2,000 deaths a year as well. Indonesia and China coming in at 9 and 10 with 100,000 and 80,000 suspected bites, and then about 1,000 fatalities every year as well. And then going down from 11 to 20, we've got Brazil with about 30,000 estimated bites, but only about 100 to 150 deaths a year. So again, quite a big drop. I suppose Brazil, there's obviously parts of it that are sort of would be considered third world, but there's also parts of it that are quite developed. So yeah, the statistics drop down there as well. It's quite a big gap. Mexico, 28,000 suspected bites with 300 to 500 deaths a year. Rattlesnakes and coral snakes being the sort of main contributors to that. You're getting a no ID call.
Yeah.
You watch. Wait for it. I'll get one as well, I reckon.
No, I think I know who that is.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
It's not old mate trying to fuck with us.
No, it's our other actual mate that fucks with us.
We'll wait and see if mine rings as well.
I did tell him we were recording, so hopefully he gets the picture.
We'll see if mine rings as well. But yeah, Mexico was in at number 12 with rattlesnakes and coral snakes being the main contributors. It was him. And then 13, 14 and 15 are all African countries, so Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, with sort of all between 20 to 30,000 suspected bites a year across those countries, and sort of, again, probably around 1,000 deaths a year in those countries from snake bites. 16's Africa as well, which is Sudan. Again, about that 20,000 suspected bites, about 1,000 deaths a year. And then we've got all Southeast Asian countries. We've got Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, and Papua New Guinea coming in from that 17 to number 20 spot. So they're the top 20 countries in the world for, well, snakebite deaths and suspected snake bites.
Yeah.
As well. So we'll just go through a few more of these species. So we've got the sort of top 10 species.
And I guess you'd say these are top 10 deadliest then?
Top 10 deadliest snakes in the world, because these are the ones that are taking the most lives, biting the most people. Whereas in Australia, we've got the most venomous snakes in the world, but nowhere near the fatalities, obviously, that some of these other countries have. So obviously the Russell's vipers come in at number 1. We've got the common crate, which is India, Nepal and Bangladesh.
And I guess like a thing with the crate as well is that they're nocturnal. Well, they do a lot of stuff at night time.
Yeah.
Which means you hear a lot of stories of them coming into little huts and things like that.
Yeah.
Just hunting, and then people roll over
and lie on it.
Because they're obviously front fixed fang, elapid, smallish fangs.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even feel it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the Indian cobra at number 3. We've got the saw scale viper, which is the one you would have thought would have been taking the top spot. West African carpet viper. We've got the puff adder, another African species. The black mamba coming in at number 7. The Malayan pit viper. The Philippine cobra. And the lancehead at number 10. So lancehead, Central and South American species. So they would be considered probably the top 10 most dangerous snakes in the world.
Yeah.
In terms of, estimated bites and estimated deaths from throughout the world.
Yeah.
So no Australian species.
No.
Funnily enough.
A couple gnarly snakes though. Like,
I wouldn't want to cop a bite from anything on that list.
No.
Again, I'd cop an EB any day of the week over anything on there.
If I had proper medical care, probably the only one I'd probably feel maybe like black mum. But if you had medical care straight there, because it's the rest of them have got so much necrotic sort of stuff going on. Like even cobras and stuff have a lot of that stuff going on. Puff adder would be terrible.
The thing with this list as well, these aren't the most venomous snakes in the world, but oh, excuse me. Oh, and another one. And a third. But they're in these third world countries, and people that get bitten don't have access to medical facilities, so they just have to ride it out a lot of the time. And if they don't ride it out, they die, unfortunately. And if they don't die, they end up losing legs and arms and all sorts of horrible stuff. Your wounds go gangrenous, and it's just not nice.
It's probably like when it comes down to like the sort of venom, like losing limbs and like flesh-eating venom, like stuffing venom and that sort of thing. Infection in those countries would probably kill.
Oh, shocking!
Kill us
Infection
like,
would be
a lot too.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, whereas our snakes, they're extremely, extremely toxic. Typically, they're not going to leave any sort of long-lasting, horrible injuries to you. Like your arm's not going to rot off or anything like that, just because of the properties in the venom, compared to some of these other species, particularly the vipers.
Yeah, and like the bite would bloody hurt too.
Shocking. And a lot of all of our venomous snakes are elapids. They've got really tiny fangs.
Well, the amount of times people, like we were saying before, like from eastern browns, like 1 to 2 mil long, that's in a larger snake too.
Yeah,
like a lot of people don't even feel it. Whereas you go to a puff adder, who are bloody
fangs are literally a couple of inches long, and they're hinged fangs as well, so they fold back into the mouth, and when they come out, they come out like that and literally go straight into your arm or foot or whatever. Yeah, no thanks.
Well, actually,
no thanks.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Whereas again, a lot of people that are bitten by brown snakes don't even realise, because it's just little prick. What was that?
Yeah,
and don't realise, unfortunately, because the fangs are so small. But that's just got to do with how these snakes evolved and stuff like that as well. Our elapids, they've got very small fangs, which is a lot of the reason why they developed such highly toxic venom and evolved that highly toxic venom. And again, another reason for that is the Australian landscape before people got here is a bloody harsh place.
Yeah.
Like for some of these species, like the inland taipan, they're living out bloody right in the middle of South Australia and then right Western Queensland, on the black soil plains and the Gibber plains.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I wouldn't want to live out there.
Nah.
Like,
they're literally living down in cracks.
A meal might come along once a year if they're lucky, if it's a bad year.
Yeah.
So
they've got to be able to knock it off.
They have to make sure they get that feed.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why they evolve such highly toxic venom.
Yeah. It's all relative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And obviously, like, a lot of these guys probably having different prey items and stuff, which would lead to different, venom.
Different, properties in the venom.
That's the word, yeah.
Yeah.
And all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But, again, the eastern brown's a good example. Again, second most venomous snake in the world, highly toxic venom. Before people got here, again, they had to make sure a feed, they got a feed when it came available. Whereas when people got here, we've basically given them a buffet with all the introduced species we bring in and say, have at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
Yeah.
Whereas again, before people got here, Australia it's still a bloody harsh environment in certain parts, but it was a lot harsher before people.
Before it was developed.
It was developed, absolutely. So again, these snakes had to develop this venom to make sure they got a feed when it came around.
Yeah. Which and just before you go up there,
Yeah. Well,
which snake would you back yourself into hand? Which one would be the? I don't know how I was gonna word that. Which one would you like to handle the most out of the top 10 there?
Indian cobra.
Yeah, probably same.
Yeah.
The one I'd least want to handle is black mamba.
Oh,
I mean, I kind of actually. Sorry, part of me wants to, but yeah, it would be
a small one.
Nah, yeah, the two,
a fucking 3.5 meter.
yeah, the two hardest ones there to handle would be any Bothrop species and black mamba.
Yeah.
The rest of them, like obviously, like puff adders and any of the vipers, you could probably you wouldn't even.
You can manipulate them around easily enough,
and they're not moving that quick. You could just hook, and you'd obviously probably wouldn't even really tail them.
Yeah,
yeah. And
but like in terms of what we handle, obviously cobras are lapids. As well.
Yeah.
So
it'd be very similar.
It's the most similar.
Yeah.
To what we handle. You know, put some glasses on if you have a spitter.
Which one would you want to handle?
They're all pretty cool.
They are. Yeah, I don't think
I'd love to see a puff adder. Like when I was in Africa, I was out walking around looking for snakes, and that was probably the one I would have wanted to see the most.
I don't think I haven't handled any of those.
Do they have any at or not any of those species?
I can't remember what. They weren't Indian cobras. They were monocles.
Monocles. Yeah.
So but yeah, none of those ones, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, any of those you'd be keen to get the tail over on the hook off.
I say, like with vipers, it's like death adders basically. You just you don't touch them. Yeah. Whereas
you don't really need to. A lot of them would just probably sit on a hook anyway, and you'd be able to.
Again, like death adders.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like again, death adder's a very misleading name because they are in a lapid.
It's a unfortunate name, really.
Yeah,
because it just gives them off the wrong foot to start with.
They've got a very similar body shape to a lot of the other.
Still wild that they're a lapid.
Sort of
I
vipers.
get why they're a lapid just because their fangs set up and everything. But just like their whole body type is just like screams viper. Even their caudal lure and everything.
Yeah, they're very different to every other elapid species that we have in Australia for sure. They're bloody cool snakes though.
They are cool.
Very cool snakes. So sort of rounding out, we'll do a sort of global annual snakebite statistic with estimated numbers versus sort of global population. So total snakebite from around the entire world every year is estimated to be about 5 million.
Yeah.
Again, estimated these numbers are. So against the global population, you've got a 0.062% chance of being bitten by a snake anywhere in the world.
Still bloody low, isn't it?
It's very low. Like, it's not much.
No.
It's not much. Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna say. So we were looking at I'll just do it there so you can't see it. The top 20 countries for snakebite in the world.
Yeah.
If we kept going down that list, where do you think Australia would rank? So if you kept listing countries, where do you think Australia would come in?
Probably between like 25 to 30, somewhere around there, maybe. Not even.
No. So if we kept going down that 20 countries
I was trying to
list,
think what countries were left with like a fair amount of, because you start going into Europe and stuff where there'd be bugger all, and like I guess the United States, I'm not sure where that would be, but
so if we were to keep going, we would be ranked between 75 and 90 globally.
Yeah, right.
It like obviously depending on the year, depending on the reporting, but we're one of the safest countries in the world when it comes to snakebite.
That's wild.
It's ridiculous. 75 to 90
I wouldn't
globally.
The only reason I sort of went lower is because I was thinking how many countries are actually left with a decent like reptile population.
All the other Southeast Asian countries,
I suppose there's a lot.
All the other African countries, South America, Central America.
Forget how many countries are in there. Eh?
Like if you start like picking all the like smaller countries,
there's always little ones everywhere on there. Yeah,
but that's wild, isn't it?
It is. Yeah,
that's wild. We are again one of the safest places in the world when it comes to snakebite.
I know who'd be last. New Zealand. So they don't have any snakes.
Yeah. And people make it known on commenting on the page, don't they?
Yep.
Oh, New Zealand's ecosystem's fine. It's evolved to be fine with no snakes.
The argument makes no sense.
Literally no sense, but that's a topic for another day.
Yes.
But yeah, going back down, so envenomations around the world is between sort of 2.5 to 2.7 million every year globally. So again, 0.031% chance of being envenomated by a snake if you are bitten against global population. Deaths annually, again, it's so hit and miss with numbers, but between sort of 80,000 and 140,000 people a year die from snake bite globally.
Still not a lot, is it?
Compared to the population
and a lot of other things that
things, it's not a lot. Like
for the stereotype that snakes have, I guess it's not a lot really. When you put like the stereotype of snakes in there plus the population of the world population sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's as much as like anyone dying, it's not good, but put it in perspective like that, so certainly
puts it into perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The next one is permanent disability from snake bite, which is, again, happening in a lot of these third world countries like India and stuff like that, which is about 500,000 people have permanent disability if, like, after being bitten by a snake, if they survive that. So again, in terms of sort of global population, it's not that high.
No.
And it is happening in these third world countries where they just don't have the medical facilities available, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a few sort of Australian snakebite statistics, and then compared to sort of global statistics as well. And it just goes to show how unlikely it is to happen in Australia. It's just very unfortunate when it does happen. Yeah, it gets
blown out the water.
So much, because again, it is very unfortunate when it does happen, and I'm not saying it's not, but it's just something that doesn't, like, people don't need to worry about as much as they potentially do.
And I guess
sort of thing.
And you look at it from a media perspective, it's just such a headline grabber. Like.
Absolutely.
Like as soon as they can put something else, they know it's going to get interaction. So that's why they lace it out there so much.
Dramatise it.
When, there's obviously people that die from things every day and they never get covered or anything like that.
Again, I can't remember the last time the news did a story about someone being killed by a horse or something like that.
And they probably won't.
and they probably won't. But again, horses kill the most people in Australia every year.
But you don't see people going, "Oh, good horse is a dead horse."
There's a snake catcher that did a post. I saw it just before. You might have seen it as well. And she was talking about that sort of stuff. And she did the stat, cows kill more people, and did literally that. So the only good cow's a dead cow sort of thing.
Yeah.
But again, I'd say Australia's reputation for this is probably one of the worst in the world.
It'd be up there.
It'd be up there when, the numbers obviously don't reflect on that.
Yeah.
Again, yes, accidents can happen, but, accidents can happen with anything.
Anything, yeah.
Getting your car driving to a job, you're far more likely to have an accident than, doing the job itself.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like, we shouldn't be sort of worried, I suppose, about these animals.
You're just going to be educated around it and mindful of it. If you're in that sort of habitat or in an area where there are snakes, you just got to be mindful of it. That's all it is.
Being aware of
it.
Again, we do live in Australia, and yes, we do have a lot of highly venomous snakes, and you could potentially have one pass through your backyard. But being mindful of these things is probably the most important things. Like, yes, it can happen. Is there anything I can do to sort of maybe lessen the chance of it happening? Again, we've spoken about this plenty of times. Keep on top of rodents, keep things clean, and keep water inside stop
being,
near the house.
Yeah, stop them wanting to hang around.
Yeah,
they want to come through and have a quick visit and go, like rather than stop and be like, oh, this is nice. There's food, there's water, there's somewhere to hide.
That's it.
Let's stay here.
But again, like we live in Australia. No matter where you live in Australia, there is a chance of getting a snake.
Yeah.
Every inch of this country has a native species of snake on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it can happen, but it shouldn't be something that people need to be worried about. And again, the numbers show that.
Yeah.
Like we're statistically one of the safest countries in the world.
Yeah.
When it comes to snake bite. But we do also have the best medical facility in the world when it comes to snake bite as well.
And effective first aid.
And effective first aids. Like the anti-venom we have here is the best quality anywhere in the world as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not something that people should be worried about. Mindful, yes. Aware, yes. But, you shouldn't...
Scared, no.
No, you shouldn't, live your life thinking if I go outside, a snake's going to chase me or something like that. Because, again, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're at an hour now, so we'll wrap that one up.
So we covered all that nicely, I think. So
I think we did, yeah. We got through that.
Good work on the research.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. We'll see how many people comment saying I got something wrong.
It'll be close enough.
Again, like a lot of this is just estimates as well because...
It gives you an idea. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Of it. Like, we're not...
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not scientists or, what do you call it, analysts or... I don't know what the word is. People that do numbers, data analysts or anything like that. But we just, it's enough to give you an idea of what's going on.
Yeah. And again, this is what the sort of whole idea of this is as well, just to bring a bit more light to it about, what we do with these animals and, why people shouldn't be sort of scared of them, I suppose.
Or trying to hurt them.
Which a lot of people do. But we'll leave that for another one. This was this 10? I think this was 10. Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. First episode of the new year. We've got a few guests lined up coming up as well, which will be good. There may be a break for a week because I'm going away for a little bit. So we're going to try and get a couple of episodes out. I just don't know if we'll be able to record another one by the time I get back before it goes out. We might be able to. It might be delayed a day or so, but we'll let you know either way.
Yeah.
But make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.
See ya.